Hello, welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that if you want to be a part of this tech conversation, you can find us on SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za. On email, you can also use the hashtag SABC Network. Today, our Twitter poll is asking if you watch online video ads or if you just press skip when you can. Results of that are coming up later in the program. Here's what's coming up in the show. Gauteng gets another smart classroom. This as Education MEC accredits its digital strategy for the province's great matric results. DRC has a new president-elect, but the internet and SMS services were blocked as people waited for the results. And our discussion is about mobile phone advertising. Bruno Mundela is the Chief Operations Officer at AdsLock. He's here for that one. Hello, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Pumelele. Pleasure to be here.
Now, Bruno, how big is this industry? Is this mobile advertising?
Well, the industry is quite huge. When you look at our smartphone users in Africa, we're targeting 400 million users, smartphone users in Africa. So that's just how big it is.
Right, hold that thought. We will have that discussion later in the program. First, your technology and social media news. Now, Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi has accredited his digital strategy for the province's great matric results. It was the best performing province in 2018 when the results were announced recently. Gauteng has started the process of rolling out smart classrooms in various schools. In chosen schools, there are digital boards and not the chalkboard as was in the past. Kids are also using tablets and laptops in those schools. The latest smart classroom has been unveiled in Menzi Primary School in Tsakane in Eguruleni. The MEC says teachers need to be equipped to be part of this digital era.
Our skills base need to be revolutionized, and the only way to do so is through education. I'm quite convinced that given appropriate time and the energy that we have now, we're going to close that gap earlier than we thought. We've got the School of Aviation. We've partnered with a company called Honeywell. They're one of the top companies coming to the aviation industry. We've got two schools that are assisting us in that space. We also have a school in Soweto that is assisting us on robotics, and that particular school as well is shaping up. Learners in those schools are really taking robotics very serious, and we're quite impressed. But the fourth industrial revolution compels us to enter that space. We have no choice. We can't be left out. We're left out in the third industrial revolution. We're left out in the second industrial revolution, and we can't allow the fourth industrial revolution to take our children out. So we still need to move into that particular space, and I'm quite convinced that we're going to enter that space with our children fully intact. Train good teachers. In the absence of a good teacher, there's no education. And if you can't get the education right, you're not going to get the country right. And for us to get the country right, must have a strong skill space. And to have that skill space, it means we must have quality education. So it's very, very important that the fourth industrial revolution is not only fueled and pushed forward by education, but you need quality educators to assist you to do that, because in the absence of them, we can't get it right. The fourth industrial revolution is actually, we are very late. We are at the tail end of it. We are entering the fifth industrial revolution.
Now, the video games industry in South Africa is said to be at over 8 billion rand. That's a massive share for local games developers. Sukia Kimani and Ben Myers have a share in this space with what is a really popular video game.
This video game features great design, music and unique mental challenges. Sukia Kimani and Ben Myers met while they were both studying game development. They developed a university project called Semblance, and on the advice of their lecturer, decided to take it further and designed one of the most popular indie video games to come out of South Africa.
So it's something where the technology that I was building and Ben's designs put together start to create something new and fresh. And then we were always trying to do things that were differently. So even the music that was being done in South Africa, in Cape Town, we were always pushing the boundaries.
The Johannesburg-based duo did not think their first offering would be the one to help them get a piece of the global gaming industry. It's an industry estimated at over $100 billion, which is more than the broadcast rights for many major sports.
We can't reveal sales numbers because of all these NGAs storefronts have, but it's been played by tens of thousands of people since when we started developing it to now when it's purchasable. It's played by people all over the world.
The duo now runs a company and studio called Nyamakop. They've traveled all over the world to show semblance at prestigious gaming events like PAX East, Gamescom, E3 and EGX. Nyamakop's flagship game is just as popular at home.
I like the fact that these are South Africans that are making these games, and it's not big name brands. It's actual guys that are starting out in the industry, and it's cool.
But it's good. It stimulates your brain to think.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
You're playing games and as well as thinking at the same time.
So it's not like you're a couch potato, you're actually thinking.
Yeah.
Because you always say you sit there and play games and you're brain dead, but you're not.
The gaming industry in South Africa was at 900 million rand in 2016, up from 27 million rand in 2014. Revenues hit 1 billion rand last year. International publishers and investors have taken notice.
There's an opportunity now for African creatives, African developers to start sharing games and stories that the world hasn't seen before. And I think that's one of the key sort of selling points that we can really offer sort of the international markets.
According to research firm New Zoo, South Africa ranked third in 2018 in gaming industry revenues on the continent. Second was Nigeria, and Egypt was first. The guys at Nyamakop say they want to now tell African folklore through video games.
Felix Tshisekedi has been announced as the winner of the presidential election in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was a long wait for the results. During that wait, internet and SMS services were not working in the DRC. It has been almost 2 weeks since the Democratic Republic of Congo's government cut internet connections and SMS services across the country. Officials said the move was necessary to preserve public order after fictitious results from its presidential elections began circulating on social media. But people in the eastern city of Goma say the blackout is only making things worse. Nelson Mwindulwa is a journalist and blogger based in Goma, which is near the border with Rwanda.
The importance of information is fast. It's a scoop. And above all, the information on the internet, online. So, the minute the events happen, you have to adapt to be able to publish it instantly without wasting a second. We must even cross the border, go to Rwanda to be able to publish. But who are we publishing it for? Those who read our news the most. Those who have the most interest in Congolese information. It is only the Congolese first, before it concerns everyone. And the majority of these Congolese do not have internet.
Grace Kaliba is frustrated as well. He sells mobile phone credits for data and voice calls on Goma streets. His profits have nosedived.
My job hasn't been interesting since the internet shut down. We are no longer making sales like we used to. You know, the data bundles are used as much as credit for phone calls. For example, when I have data bundles available, I make a daily turnover.
Students also complain that their academic work has stalled without internet access.
The government's decision is unjustifiable. Apart from blocking us from doing the scientific research that we need to do, we also have family abroad. We used to communicate with our relatives via WhatsApp and Facebook, but without internet connection we are just blocked. It's a decision that cannot be justified from a legal point of view.
The various moves reflect high tensions in the DRC, where the long-delayed election was meant to choose a successor to President Joseph Kabila. His term officially ended in 2016, then there were delays for 2 years. He is now due to step down next month. The winner of that election has been announced to be Felix Tshisekedi. Gabon also blocked the internet after an attempted coup a few days ago. The coup leaders have been described as young members of the army. They took over a radio station. The aim was to end decades of rule by President Ali Bongo's family. People in Sudan say they have internet blockages there as well. This happens as there are anti-government protests. Protesters say they want President Omar al-Bashir to step down. Now, miniature tracking devices connected to the Internet of Things are helping protect some of the world's most endangered animals against poaching.
Sigfox, a French tech company, has developed a tiny tracker that is inserted into rhino horns in several African countries to help conservationists monitor their movement. With the dramatic decline of animal species in the past century, mostly due to poaching and urban expansion, wildlife organizations have turned to technology to help protect creatures that have been pushed close to extinction.
These village forest monitors are very proud, and we didn't dictate to them what they should record in the forest. They got together and they chose, okay, we'll record an illegally cut tree, we'll record an animal trap, we'll record a cartridge on the ground, we'll record the sighting of a chimp nest or the sighting of a leopard or a pangolin.
Transmitters developed by Sigfox are able to give the exact location of rhinos spread across a 5,000 square kilometer reserve in Zimbabwe over a long period of time.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za. On email. When we return, we'll be chatting to Bruno Mundela about AdsLock. Stay with us.
On Media Monitor, we leave no stones unturned.
We don't have shared principles when it comes to media freedom.
From the integrity of journalists to accusations of fake news.
If anybody comes with an alternative view, he starts referring to it as fake news.
We also look at the safety of our journalists while covering stories on the field.
This is something that we're faced with daily, from journalists who say they've been physically or verbally attacked by community members.
Watch Media Monitor Sundays at 9 a.m.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you very much for being a part of our network. Now, many advertisers are trying different methods to get people to view their online ads. Some platforms, like YouTube, allow people to skip the ad after a few seconds. Our cameras went to find out if some of you watch adverts online.
If there's such an app like that allows me to buy data, airtime, food, maybe I would definitely be most likely to use it. And yeah, I recommend it to other people. For example, my mom, she's bought there on WhatsApp. She can just check out the app and earn money. So yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely use that app. I mean, it's not all the time you get paid for watching pictures or like videos, you see. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it to people.
You don't actually get paid for doing videos each and every day. You actually get paid. That's very amazing and very genius. I would like to recommend it to each and everyone who's using a phone because, hey bruh, it's not shit.
Definitely brilliant idea. I would download this app and use it.
Now, Bruno Mundela has developed such an app that people are talking about on the streets, the app that allows you to get paid while you watch adverts online. Bruno Mundela is here in studio. He is with AdsLock. Hello, and thank you very much for joining me, Bruno.
Hello, Spumelelo. Thank you for having me.
All right, so people say they want to get paid to watch ads.
Oh, yes, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want to get paid to view adverts?
Where did the idea of AdsLock come from?
Well, the idea came about when we looked at, first of all, the number of smartphone users in Africa, which is 400 million. And then obviously we looked at the problems in digital advertising, the intrusiveness, stakeholders involved, the cost to advertise. And then when we put a few pieces together, we said, why can't we deliver a product, that meets the needs of advertisers and also rewards people for viewing those adverts? So basically, that's where the idea came from.
You say the intrusiveness. How do I know yours is not intrusive?
How do you know ours is not intrusive? Download the app, try it out, and you shall see that it's not intrusive. So we're delivering content, all right, advertising content direct to the smartphone's lock screen. Now, when we say lock screen, that's basically it. If there's an advert on your lock screen and your screen is off, your screen shall never go on by the adverts by AdsLock. All right, it stays off. Now, if I may ask you, Spumila, how many times do you engage with your phone on a daily basis?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you the average is about 156 times in a day. So what we're saying is we're not changing your lifestyle. All right, these things are not popping up. Adverts are not popping up on your phone, which is the norm in mobile digital advertising. So you have it on the lock screen. When your phone screen is locked, it stays locked.
So it's not pop-ups, because a lot of people tend to complain about pop-ups.
Exactly.
Also, pop-ups taking their data, because you don't want to be using the internet at that particular time, and then something pops up and already the data's gone.
That's right. That's right. And this is why AdsLock it's an opt-in. So for you to actually view those adverts, you've opted to use the service. All right. And we've tried, and this is the sort of technology that we have behind AdsLock, is that you use as minimal as possible to get the most out of it. It wouldn't make sense for you to be viewing adverts and you spend most of your data, and we're saying we're going to pay you to view those adverts, so you're spending more than you're earning. So we've put a lot of technology behind it.
So as an advertiser, Bruno,
yes,
what am I getting from this? Because I understand that the person who's viewing the ad is getting paid.
Yes.
So what's in it for me to advertise on your particular platform when there are many other platforms?
All right. Okay, there's a few things. I'll talk about the ease of use. All right. So we've cut out a lot of bureaucracy in advertising. So you as a one-man business, you start a business, you're trying to get your brand out there. It's very simple. Few clicks on our website. We're developing an app for that for advertisers. And just a few simple steps. You upload, we screen your advert, and we place it. The cost, it's cheap. We're working on a cost per mil, which is 1,000 impressions, so it's as little as 0.20 cents to view for the advert to be placed. So to put it in realistic terms, for every 1,000 people that view your advert, you pay 200 Rand. Who out there is offering that?
So do I get cash?
Do you get cash as an advertiser?
If I'm viewing.
If you're viewing, you get instant cash. Not points, not coins, instant cash.
All right. And do you then determine who gets which advertisement, or is it blanket advertising for everybody?
Exactly. And this is why it's targeted advertising, and this is what AdsLock is, and this is why we've put a few components in the system to make sure that even as an advertiser, you're targeting the people that your advert should reach. So you're not putting it for the whole world or the whole of South Africa or whatever region that we're going to go into. You're actually targeting where your advert should be seen. So the necessary people, the necessary market that you see fit gets to view your ads.
So how will you know that I'm a 19-year-old student who lives in Kimberley?
All right. So on the sign-up process, all right, we get details of the users, very basic. We don't want your ID number. We don't want your bank account details. Just your cell phone number. You tell us what age group you are. So already that's analytics. So we're collecting a lot of data, a lot of analytics, and that helps us also by the system the way we've built it. Geotagging, for instance. All right. So we know exactly where the users are viewing those adverts, and you get true analytics on those adverts placed.
Bruno Mundela from AdsLock, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Pumila.
All right, that's Bruno Mundela there. Now, this week, we also caught up with a jazz musician, Nomfundo Taluva. She told us about her favorite piece of technology.
Hi, I'm Nomfundo Taluva, and I'm a jazz musician. My favorite gadget is my Apple AirBook. Why do I love it so much? I feel like it's my office in a piece of equipment. It's agile, it's light, it's fast.
Next.
Wrong form. Blue one. Green form. Orange form. Baby blue form.
All this serious deserves a glass of not so serious. Come fill yours with Tops at Spa.
It is the SABC network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now, the world's biggest tech and gadget show, CES, took center stage in Las Vegas this week, and WeChat's data report shows Chinese people changing habits. These are some of the stories that made tech headlines in the rest of the world.
This week, the annual Consumer Electronics Show opened its doors with thousands of technology enthusiasts heading to Las Vegas to get a peek at the latest innovations on the world's biggest tech and gadget event. Drawing a big crowd was LG's rollable television that rolls itself away into a sleek piece of furniture when it's not being used.
So this is our exciting new OLED TV R series. It's the first large-screen rollable television set. 65-inch, 4K diameter, and it is really a revolution in television design. Because before, if you wanted to place a TV in a room, you couldn't put it in front of a window. You couldn't put it in the middle of the room, but now you can.
South Korean automaker Hyundai also took a stroll into the future with a car that can walk and climb on wheeled legs.
Our idea here was, could you, help someone get out of a snow ditch? Could you help someone elevate to a front door where they can't get out of their front door and there's someone with disabilities in a wheelchair and they don't have a ramp?
But while this concept is moving forward, it's unlikely to be appearing at a local dealership anytime soon. Off we go to China. WeChat, the most popular social media app in China, has published a big data report that shows changing habit of Chinese people. The report revealed that nearly 1.1 billion active users send a total of about 45 billion messages every day. WeChat payment feature has also become a crucial part of many users' lives, regardless of their age.
WeChat payment has become a basic device and a bridge for all walks of life, which can connect merchants with their target consumers and users. As of mid-October 2018, WeChat payment has increased by 50% compared with the same period in 2017.
Meanwhile, for the post-80s and post-90s generations, they spent on average about 8 minutes on video calls, while older people tend to stay talking a little bit longer, and each generation prefers different emojis. But some experts believe its dominance may be coming under pressure from a general change in online habit.
When we talk about it being a threat, it's more in terms of the time spent on mobile, shifting more towards ByteDance products, which I think is a trend we've seen over the past 2-3 years.
The future definitely looks like an interesting place to be. Now, this week on Twitter, we're asking if you watch online advertisements. Now, 7% of respondents say yes, they do. The majority of you say you just press skip ad when you can. That figure is at 78%, and 15% of you say sometimes. Right, so that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's newsnetwork@sabc.co.za on email. We leave you with the visuals of China's latest tech products that were also showcased at the Consumer Electronics Show. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one. Bye-bye.